Excellencies, ambassadors and heads of foreign missions to the UAE, esteemed partners, honorable guests, good morning. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation is pleased to welcome you all to ملتقى, Arabic for forum or meetup. This event will be held periodically to serve as a platform for diplomatic dialogue where ambassadors and heads of foreign missions can keep abreast of the latest strategic events, activities, and plans in the UAE for 2018. ملتقى aims to encourage networking and sheds the light on various sectors at the heart of UAE's foreign agenda, in line with the ministry's strategy. On this auspicious occasion, Her Excellency Reem Al-Hashmi, Minister of State for International Cooperation, one of the engaged leaders supporting the 2019 Special Olympic World Games, marks the kickoff of our first ملتقى with her opening remarks. Your Excellency, the floor is yours.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أصحاب المعالي والسعادة، الضيوف الكرام، سيداتي والسادة، سأسعى للفوز، وحتى إن لم يكن بإمكاني الفوز دعوني أتحلى بشرف المحاولة. هذه الكلمات المؤثرة هي شعار دورة الألعاب العالمية للأولمبياد الخاص، وتلخص في معناها جوهر حياتنا اليومية بكل تنوعنا واختلافاتنا. نعم، الإنجاز ليس دائماً في الربح، بل هو في رحلتنا نحو هذا الربح مهما كانت كفاءاتنا الجسدية أو العقلية. وهذه الحقيقة هي ركيزة هامة في استراتيجيتنا الوطنية لتنمية الطاقات الموجودة بين أفراد دولتنا، وانعكست بجلاء وتركيز في كلمات سمو الشيخ محمد بن راشد آل مكتوم حينما قال: إعاقة الإنسان هي عدم تقدمه وبقائه في مكانه وعجزه عن تحقيق الإنجازات. وما حققه أصحاب الهمم في مختلف المجالات وعلى مدى السنوات الماضية من إنجازات هو دليل على أن العزيمة والإرادة تصنعان المستحيل وتدفع الإنسان إلى مواجهة كل الظروف والتحديات بثبات للوصول إلى الأهداف والغايات. كما يعلم العديد منكم، ستستضيف دولة الإمارات العربية المتحدة عام 2019 دورة الألعاب العالمية للأولمبياد الخاص في أبوظبي للمرة الأولى في دول منطقة الشرق الأوسط وأفريقيا. ونحن هنا في دولة الإمارات نشعر بعظيم الفخر لاستضافة هذا الحدث العالمي الذي يحتفي بأغلى ميزة إنسانية، وهي الروح المناضلة. ويأتي الدليل على أهمية إقامة دورة الألعاب العالمية للأولمبياد الخاص في دولة الإمارات من كونه الموضوع الذي سيتم به افتتاح ملتقى السفراء، حيث نلتقي ونجتمع لمناقشة رؤيتنا حول الهدف من هذا اللقاء الذي يضم قادة البعثات والهيئات الدبلوماسية العاملة في أبوظبي للمشاركة في مناقشات استشرافية ومنفتحة حول أهم الأحداث والفعاليات الجارية بالنسبة لوزارة الخارجية والتعاون الدولي ودولة الإمارات بشكل عام. ونأمل أن يكون اليوم هو البداية لسلسلة من مثل هذه اللقاءات والمناقشات. إن دورة ألعاب الأولمبياد الخاص هي حركة عالمية تسعى لنشر الروح الرياضية والقيم الإنسانية وتحفيز المنافسة والإصرار من خلال إطلاق العنان للطاقة الإيجابية والسعادة عبر ممارسة الرياضات المختلفة للتغلب على العجز والتكاسل ومواجهة الظلم والتعصب من جهة، وأيضاً لتجسيد المعنى الحقيقي لشمولية المجتمعات واحتضانها لكافة فئاتها من جهة أخرى. وتهدف الإمارات من خلال استضافتها لدورة الألعاب عام 2019 إلى نشر هذه الرسائل والأفكار بين كافة أطياف الجمهور المستهدف، وعلى وجه الخصوص شعب الإمارات والمنطقة العربية. وحتى قبل فعاليات دورة الألعاب تعلن أبوظبي سعيها والتزامها بإحداث تغييرات جذرية في حياة ملايين الأشخاص من ذوي الهمم والإعاقات الذهنية في المنطقة، وزيادة تشجيع وحماس المشاركين والمدربين والمتطوعين والجمهور الذين سيحضرون الفعالية، والعمل على استمرار تأثيرها حتى بعد انتهائها. فرؤيتنا الفعلية لهذا الحدث هي إلهام الجميع للمشاركة والاستمتاع وغرس روح الفخر بدور دولة الإمارات المتميز وريادتها في قيادة المنطقة نحو عهد جديد من الشمولية والتسامح والسعادة للجميع. ويعود اختيار دورة الألعاب العالمية للأولمبيات الخاص لتكون موضوع هذا الملتقى إلى رغبتنا في التعاون للوصول إلى الأهداف التي نأمل في تحقيقها من هذا الحدث. ومن المؤكد أننا سنطلب في المستقبل القريب دعمكم للتمكن من تحقيق طموحاتنا عبر التواصل مع مواطنيكم المقيمين في الإمارات لحثهم على المشاركة الفعالة في دورة الألعاب العالمية، اختيار أبرز وأهم الشخصيات من دولتكم الموقرة للحضور كضيوف في هذه الفعالية، مشاركة وسائل الإعلام من دولتكم لتغطية دورة الألعاب، ترتيب إقامة مراسم استقبال فرقكم الرياضية الوطنية، المشاركة في مراسم توزيع الميداليات المقدمة للفرق الفائزة، والأهم من هذا كله تواجدكم كمشجعين في المباريات والملاعب. وإن كان لي أن أوجه إليكم رسالة اليوم من هذا المكان من ملتقى السفراء، فهي أن استضافة دورة الألعاب العالمية للأولمبيات الخاص للعام 2019 هي على رأس أولويات جدول أعمال دولة الإمارات ومن أهم بنودها للعام المقبل. وختاماً، فإننا نتطلع إليكم بصفتكم قادة مجتمع الدبلوماسية الدولي في أبوظبي للعمل معاً كتفاً إلى كتف لتقديم دورة الألعاب العالمية ودورة الألعاب الأولمبية الإقليمية الخاصة بمنطقة الشرق الأوسط التي ستعقد في 2018 بأفضل صورة ممكنة. ويحدونا الأمل وننتظر ببالغ السعادة والتشوق نجاح هذا المسعى. أصحاب السعادة، يسرني في النهاية أن أتقدم لكم بالشكر لتواجدكم معنا اليوم، ونتطلع إلى مشاركتكم الفعالة والريادية بإذن الله لترجمة هذه الرؤية إلى حقيقة على أرض الواقع. وشكراً.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
نحن هنا نواجه التحدي، نمارس شغفنا، نروي قصة مجدنا بالعزيمة والإصرار. اتخذنا القرار، نكون أو لا نكون. اليوم نتحدى السكون، ندرك ما نريد، ولدينا المزيد. هنا لنشارك الأولمبياد الخاص الألعاب الإقليمية التاسعة أبوظبي 2018.
Our first session today will tackle one of the most important events coming to the UAE before Dubai Expo 2020, the 2019 Special Olympics World Games. His Excellency Mohammed Al-Janaibi, Chairman of the Special Olympics World Games, and Mr. Peter Wheeler, CEO of the Special Olympics World Games, will introduce this grand event coming to Abu Dhabi. Gentlemen, the floor is yours.
السلام عليكم. ببدأ في أول شيء في شكركم سعادة السفراء لحضوركم اليوم الملتقى في وزارة الخارجية. فبالنيابة عن قيادتنا الرشيدة نشكركم للحضور، وأيضا بالنيابة عن اللجنة العليا للأولمبيات 2019 نشكركم أيضا لحضوركم ومشاركتكم. ببتدي أول شيء بشكر سفير النمسا Ambassador of Austria. I would like to thank him for his effort with helping us with his experience of the previous Special Olympics. Here you are. بكمل بالعربي. لازم بس في البداية بعد لازم أقول لكم أن هذه الأولمبيات هي عبارة عن حصاد للشيخ زايد الله يرحمه اللي بناه واللي كملوه عياله. وفي نفس الوقت عندي اعتراف بسيط هنا، confession بالإنجليزي مثل ما يقولون، أن أنا ما كان عندي أي علم أو معرفة بالأولمبياد الخاص. أنا بديت المعرفة هذه بعد ما كان لي الشرف أن حطوني مع فريق العمل أن نشتغل على البيدنج بوك. من هنا ابتديت أعرف أكثر. سابقا ما كان عندي أي خلفية عن هذا الموضوع، لكن من هذاك اليوم تغيرت الحياة طبعا. كل ما أعرف أكثر كل ما تحرك المشاعر أكثر. موضوع الانتلكشوال differences مش disabilities differences موضوع جدا حساس ومهم. فإحنا اخترنا جمعنا أفضل الناس اللي منهم الأخ بيتر ويلر طبعا، فمن أفضل الناس اللي شغالين عشان إحنا ننجز هذا الحدث. الناس اللي موجودين اللي إحنا نريد نوصل لهم موجودين في معظم البيوت اللي إحنا ما عندنا علم عنهم. كان لنا لقاء سابق بالأسبوع اللي طاف مع حاكم راس الخيمة الله يحفظه، فكان يقول أن كل حد عنده إعاقة ذهنية في شيء معين، كل واحد منا إحنا فمش كاملين. والأخ تم شرايفر كان أيضا يركز على أن تفكيرهم مختلف عن تفكيرنا إحنا. طبعا أنا ما بطول عليكم، التكنيكال بيس بيكون عند بيتر ويلر بعد شوي، بس أريد أشكركم على تعاونكم. معالي ريم الهاشمي طبعا غنية عن التعريف، وغنية عن التعريف في إمكانياتها وإنجازاتها ما شاء الله عليها. فهي حطت إيدها بإيد الأولمبيات الخاص كإكسبو 2020. طبعا احنا شغالين مع بعض من الآن، فاحنا نبني عندنا الألعاب الريجنال اللي هي 2018 اللي بتكون مارتش القادم عشان ما يكون كونفيوجن. بعدين عندنا الألعاب العالمية اللي هي 2019 اللي هي أول مرة تحصل هنا. ون بيس بعد أريد أذكره أن احنا هني نسعى لتركة لليجاسي. التركة هذه أن نوصل للبيوت كلها اللي فيها أصحاب الإعاقة الذهنية ونغير الفكر. لما بدأت الموفمنت هذه 1962 بدأت الموفمنت أن بدأ الواحد لما يروح مثلا المدرسة يشوف تقرير أبنائه فكله يقولوا له مقصر مريض and so forth. لما دخل على السبيشال أولمبيكس تحول الموضوع إلى نجاح وفوز وتميز لشخص طلع من الإعاقة الذهنية إلى شخص رياضي، إلى مثابر، إلى سعيد ويسعد اللي حوله، إلى منجز وفايز. فإحنا نتمنى مشاركتكم كسفراء ممثلين لدولكم ودبلوماسيين أن تحطوا يدكم في يدنا ننجح هذا الحدث اللي قادم، وأيضا نصل إلى البيوت اللي تحتاج مساعدة سواء في دولكم أو عندنا هني. وشكرا جزيلا.
Thank you, Your Excellency, and our terrific chairman of the World Games, Your Excellency, Rima Hashmi, and thank you for inviting us here today. My job today is to tell you a little bit about Special Olympics and give you some background. I know many of you, a few of you I've met, and I know many of you are aware of Special Olympics, but let me briefly go through Special Olympics and how it all got started. So the real issue is there are over 200 million people with intellectual disabilities in the world, largest group of people with disabilities. It is the most misunderstood, most marginalized, most stigmatized population on the planet. And fortunately, Eunice Kennedy Shriver, who is the sister of President Kennedy, they had a sister named Rosemary who was a person with intellectual disabilities. If many of you know about the Kennedy family, they're a very active family in sports, and they saw what Rosemary could do if given the chance. She was a good swimmer, she sailed, she played American football, touch football, and when Mrs. Shriver went away to college, and after college, she went into social work. And she started to really talk to people around the United States, and she found out many people were institutionalized, but those families that kept their sons or daughters at home, life was tough, life was difficult, but because the doors were shut for their sons and daughters. And out of anger and frustration, Mrs. Shriver decided to open her door, her yard, to people with intellectual disability and started a camp. And a few years later, as she saw how people with intellectual disabilities could perform, she decided to start the Special Olympics 50 years ago. And here's how it's grown from that simple idea of asking people to play and providing a field. Special Olympics has grown to a global movement. Today, over 5 million people, athletes, are competing in Special Olympics. And even more important is there's close to 1 million, 750,000 athletes without disability are joining Special Olympics to play with people with intellectual disabilities. Truly a very, very inclusive model, which we hope to really grow here in the UAE and focus on during our World Games coming up in another year. But you can see the scorecard, over 108,000 competitions a year. That's what Special Olympics does. It's really fueled by volunteers. We have over 172 countries that are participating today. Most of those countries are all run by volunteers. And then we have a huge health program and many other programs that really build a more holistic life for our athletes. So what's this quick summary is we are not only the world's largest sports program for people with determination in the world, but we're the largest volunteer workforce. We're the largest public health organization for people with intellectual disabilities. We have more health data on athletes and people with intellectual disabilities than any other organization. If you aren't a healthy athlete, or you can't see, or you can't hear, you can't be a good athlete. We are also the largest school-based social inclusion program. Our programs are geared towards bringing the message of tolerance, unity, all the values, dignity, the values of UAE into schools, and using Special Olympics as the lesson plan. And then as we empower athletes on the field of play, we also empower them in work situations here and gatherings like today to really speak and be self-advocates for themselves. So how do we get all this? How does this growth really happen? It really happens because every 2 years we do a World Games. It's the largest sports and humanitarian event in the world. No other event is bigger. It's on the off year than the Olympics. And here, since 2000, Special Olympics has gone as a movement and gone to many, many countries. Austria has actually hosted the Games twice, here most recently in 2017. Ireland in 2003 was the first Special Olympics World Summer Games, first country to ever host a Summer Games for the Special Olympics. And the path and the journey leads us here in 14 months' time to the UAE, where the UAE will host the largest sports and humanitarian event, and for the first time in the Middle East, and the largest and only Olympic event ever hosted by a country in the Middle East. So what are you going to see? We're going to show you a quick video.
You are the stars, and the world is watching you. By your presence, you send a message to every village, every city, every nation. A message of hope, a message of victory.
There's a light inside of all of us. It's never hiding, you just have to light it. It's the one thing that you gotta trust. It's like a diamond, you just have to find it. So if you ever feel like giving up, yeah, just remember that we were all meant to fly. Spread your wings across the universe. It's your time to, it's your time to shine. There's a light inside of all of us. Soon you'll find that it's your time to fly. Your time to fly. A little help is all it ever takes. Somebody else to tell you it's worth fighting. A single step becomes a leap of faith. That's when you realize you started flying. So don't you ever say you're giving up. No, there's no looking back, 'cause we were all meant to fly. Spread your wings across the universe. It's your time to, it's your time to shine. There's a light inside of all of us. Soon you'll find that it's your time to fly. It's your time to fly. Just reach up, don't give up until you've touched the sky. Just reach up, don't give up until you've realized that we were all meant to fly.
You, the athletes, are ambassadors of the greatness of humankind. You inspire us to know that all obstacles to human achievement and progress are surmountable.
It's your time to shine. There's a light inside of all of us. Soon you'll find that it's your time to fly, fly. It's your time to, it's your time to shine, shine. Soon you'll find that it's your time to fly. Spread your wings across the universe. It's your time to, it's your time to shine. There's a light inside of all of us. Soon you'll find that it's your time to fly.
Let sport give us health. Let sport give us family pride. Let sport create a spirit of understanding among the young and a spirit of peace among those of every age. Let sport create a human World Wide Web of opportunity. And let sport remind us that the only measure of excellence is doing your best.
So that's what we're going to see, but all of our images are going to be so much better and so much more exciting, but the bar has been set for us. And how can I confidently, and all of us, get up here and say we're going to do better? Because we have a great leader. This will be my 20th World Games, and I've never been associated with a leader of a country who is so passionate, but more importantly, engaged and with authenticity of what we're trying to do, and see the value of Special Olympics and bringing Special Olympics not only to the people of the UAE, but to the people throughout the region, throughout the world. And that message is a message of inclusion, a message of social justice, a message that the world needs to accept all people of all abilities. And when you see our logo, you see the interconnectivity, the coups weave that really celebrates that these games under His Highness is the games that we accept people from all walks of life, all abilities. There's a place for you to shine. But any great leader also has a great team. And His Highness also has teamed up with His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, his family, His Highness Sheikh Nahyan bin Al Nahyan, and then he's also got a great bench. You know, for in a sports analogy, every team, how deep is your bench? This bench is really, really deep. And we've got such great leaders like Her Excellency Riyam Al-Hashimi and our chairman, Mohammed Al-Janabi. But you can see the people that are involved, and they're not just a slide with pictures. Most of these people are leading committees, like Her Excellency with our international work and our international outreach. So we're really blessed. So we can stand here today and say we've got a wonderful group of engaged leadership that are really going to make these games what we want them to be. And that is on March 14th through 21st in 2019, we will put on a great stage by showing that Abu Dhabi is the most unified host for the most unified games in the history of Special Olympics. As I mentioned before, this is our 50th year, and these games will be the first games of the next 50 years. And they will be games that really talk about inclusion, not an event for the athletes, but an event with the athletes and following people with determination, an invitation to the world to join these people and join a movement that's truly inclusive. And we're going to do that by inviting over 7,000 athletes from, we have 170 nations, but Her Excellency is saying we need to do more. So this number is going to grow. We're going to have a record number of nations. We'll do 24 sports, 14 days. We'll have the largest volunteer corps before the expo, all getting ready for our games, and then hopefully continuing to support the iconic event to follow in the Expo 2020. And then we have an ambitious goal of 500,000 spectators. The games, I'm not going to go into this, but you can see the calendar of events, and I think there are a couple things to point out. The games start with this wonderful host town program, which means that every athlete, every nation, when they come to the UAE, before they come to Abu Dhabi for 11 days of competition and friendship, they will go to every emirate and learn and live and understand the beautiful culture, experience the Arabic hospitality that you're so known for, but most importantly, meet the people of UAE. All throughout all the Emirates, 170, 175, 180 countries will be going to every emirate and living for 3 days in that emirate to really experience. And so this event is not only an Abu Dhabi event, certainly it's hosted here, the sports, but it's really a UAE event. And it's an event that will benefit all your citizens, certainly the athletes that are coming from your countries. And then we have a variety of other events, certainly sports and a variety of non-sporting events. Here is a list of all the sports. Hopefully there's a favorite of yours that you can follow. And we're also, we're blessed here because Abu Dhabi has great venues. So everything is in place. So we will create hubs for athletes so that the athletes are not only competing and watching each other compete, but they're living in various hubs. There's edutainment activities, and there's a place where families and friends and citizens of the UAE and schools can all come and experience sport at its best, as well as with their families and experience other cultural activities at the same time. Here's some, we're beyond sports, just sports. We talked about ceremonies. The ceremonies are going to be at Zayed Sports City Stadium. We're going to have festivals. We're tying in with the Mother of Nation Festival. We're tying into things that are pre-existing that we can enhance that event, and they can also enhance our event. There'll be a torch run. It will be lit in Greece, just like the Olympics, and it will come to the UAE and run throughout the UAE for 12 days. I mentioned the host town program. We'll be screening every athlete healthy athletes, by the great medical care here in the UAE and Abu Dhabi. Every athlete will be screened, and we have athletes, over 30% of our athletes, even though they've been screened and have a medical, we find that 30% of our athletes have never had their eyes properly checked. We have stories where in Australia, the daughter, 17 years of age, turns to her mother, never saw a clear day in her life until she went through Special Olympics opening eyes and got a pair of glasses for free, and she says, "Mom, I never knew you were so beautiful." So we are more than sports, but sport is the catalyst for change. We also bring in great youth leaders with and without determination to come in. We're working with the Ministry of Youth on that. So these games are, we use sports, but we use sports to change the world, and change the world by the lead of our athletes with determination. We also, these games are important not only to celebrate sports, but also to get the message and change behaviors. So we are looking and working very hard to start to tell the story, and we could use your help in helping us find athletes who are coming from your nation to really help us build story banks that we can use to get people understanding about their abilities, not their disabilities. And we've teamed up with great media partners, and we could use a lot more. And so this is another way you can help, is by working with us and bringing your media entities to the games. Abu Dhabi Media is our host broadcaster, and they'll be doing live coverage and daily coverage, but we need more. And we look forward to working with you and your public affairs and media departments to see how we can encourage and excite your media from your different and respective countries to come and support and tell the story of the Games. Because this Games is so large, we wanted to do an event to prepare ourselves. And you saw in the video, that little teaser video about Abu Dhabi Prepares. So we're doing a series of events on preparing for the Games, and in less than 50 days, we'll be hosting the 9th Special Olympics MENA Games. But we're not only inviting the teams from the MENA region, but we're also inviting teams outside the region. So if you're from Algeria, Bahrain, Egypt, Iran, Iraq, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Mauritania, Morocco, Oman, Palestine, Sudan, Syria, Tunisia, Cote d'Ivoire, Bangladesh, Philippines, Serendip, Pakistan, Hong Kong, Macau, Chinese Taipei, Austria, Belgium, Monaco, Russia, or Canada, you're going to get involved earlier because there are athletes and teams from those nations that are going to be here for the regional games, and we will be reaching out to you in the days ahead to talk to you and give you a briefing on your teams that are coming. This is a little quick of the games. We'll be doing the host town. We'll be doing a lot of the similar activities to test our functional areas, but more importantly, Anna is testing all of us, testing the people, and to figure out how we can ensure that when 2019 comes, that we do, in fact, put on the best games in the history of Special Olympics over the past 50 years. But when the bid was awarded by the CPC, and the CPC looked at this, His Highness didn't want to just put on a great event. He wanted to put on an event that would shine a light, a beacon on UAE and Abu Dhabi for the world to follow. And that this beacon would be a beacon of inclusion and dignity. And so we're doing a lot of work right now to ensure that there's a plan, a legacy plan. We're the first World Games that has a legacy department. That was the first hire we had, was to find somebody and say, what are we going to do after the Games? And that's just the type of seriousness that His Highness and everyone that's associated in the hire committee and our chairman is saying, how do these games make life better for people in the UAE and how do they make life better for people throughout the region and throughout the world. And we started, with His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum by doing something very progressive and changing terminology. This is a way, the courage to change the name. The word disabilities is not a kind word. There's nothing positive about disabilities. People have tried to say, well, maybe it's a diffability. We all have diffabilities. Or special needs means you're needy or you're special. And here, His Highness came up with people with determination. We all live to be characterized as a person with determination. And here, he's put this society, this population, who many people have written off, as really a population that we should follow and we should learn from, because every day they get up needing to be more determined than us. As I mentioned, with the bid, we're looking at policies and best practices, all to lead to a games and a legacy plan that will help UAE become more of an inclusive society, but also have a wave effect throughout the region. We're teaming up with groups like Cedra Foundation, our legacy partner, to bring people with determination into our offices, into our day-to-day lives, learn from them, but also help prepare them for workplace contributions and being more contributing members to society. We talked about the school curriculum and the social inclusion program. Rather than creating our own, we're now, and you've probably heard about it, we're now part of the moral education curriculum. Working with CPC, we'll have lessons based on stories of our athletes that really align well with the values of the moral education curriculum. And from that, we'll create unified schools and champion schools in the UAE. And then maybe the most ambitious project is looking at how can we make Abu Dhabi a model inclusive city for the world to follow. And that means not only for people with determination, but all people, whether it's access to health, access to the infrastructure, access to education, transportation, social integration, sports, employment. How do we create a model and a roadmap that other cities can follow around the world and use Special Olympics as the catalyst to move this forward? How do we measure? We measure by research. So we've already set forth a research study with Nielsen to really measure what the attitudes towards people with intellectual disability are, not only in the UAE, but throughout the region. And we'll continue to measure that post-games and longitudinally after the games to see if we've had an impact on changing people's attitudes and, most importantly, changing people's behavior. We're also going to do an art campaign, and we're working with Her Highness Sheikha Miriam to really bring the great artists together from the UAE, but also pair them up with people with determination to have a physical tribute to what has happened and what will happen during these games here in Abu Dhabi. So, how do you get involved? There are a lot of ways. We've had great leaders that have come to our games. You see some of the pictures from Nelson Mandela to Aung San Suu Kyi. We've had royalty. We've had heads of state all come to the games. So we look to all of you to see how can we engage your leadership back in your country to come and celebrate this very, very special time of March 14th, 2019. Where is it? It's not working. There we go. So Her Excellency talked a little bit about ways that you can get involved, and I'll just go through them really quickly. One is, as I mentioned, we want your leadership from your country to come to these games. I mentioned about engaging media. We need your support. The only way we can change the world is tell the story. So we need your support there. We've said 500,000 stands, so we need your help in filling fans in the stands and reaching out to your citizens and their families to come and cheer. your citizens that are coming. Obviously, we want you all to come in and march with your delegations for opening and closing ceremonies. We want to encourage you. We have 20,000 volunteers. That's not a small number. So we encourage you to reach out to your communities here to promote that and say that there's an opportunity for everyone, no matter what you do, all walks of life, to volunteer. We have the Host Town program. You'll all be invited to be part of the Host Town program. Language, we got a lot of languages. We need your support there. We'll be doing receptions, social media, arts and cultural activities that can show the diversity of UAE and getting you involved in that, to doing the best job in Special Olympics, or best opportunity is presenting an award to an athlete. So we hope that all of you in between March 14th and 21st of 2019 will find time in your very busy schedule to come out and present an award. We give out over 3,000 awards because our athlete, it's not an elite sports program. It's a sports program that is all based on ability. So there's not one Usain Bolt. We will have 35 Usain Bolts. We'll have 35 gold medals in the 100-meter dash, because every athlete is welcome to participate in Special Olympics. They get selected, but it's athletes of all abilities. It's unlike the Olympics. It's unlike the Paralympics. We're a program not of elitism. We're a program, it's all about personal best. And for you to stand there and present an award, whether it's a gold medal or an 8th place ribbon, that's something special, and it's something you remember the rest of your life. So I want to close it with a quick video about volunteerism, because I know when I ask at the end, I'm hoping, looking at many of you, I think we're up to about 5,000 volunteers, so if I do the math real quickly, I hope at the end we'll be up to 5,050 volunteers. So let's show the video to close it out. Thank you very much.
Just for tonight.